But a tough one. We wanted to finish out this road trip. Um, more wins and losses. Sylvia was a load today. From the beginning, I think from the jump, they established their inside presence, and we dug ourselves in a hole in that first, and played pretty even for the rest of the game, but couldn't quite get over a hump, and had a couple of opportunities to get over that hump. We didn't, but I think this road trip was a grind, and we just have to get back home, refresh, regroup, and um, take care of business.
Thanks. First question here is from Jeff Brown. Go ahead, Jeff.
Hey, Coach. As you mentioned, you guys go 2-3 in the 5-game road trip. I know that wasn't the goal. What do you feel like you've learned about the team over these past 5 games?
I learned that we have a group that plays hard, that wants to do the right thing, and that you know shows some toughness in moments, and had a lot of good showing from our bench for a majority of this road trip. What I also know is that um, we are relatively new with new players and just learning how to win games, and understanding that it's the little plays with us. And there is a lot of growth this road trip. There was a lot of bumps and bruises on this road trip, but um, I think for the most part, I'm super proud of how everyone just played hard and fought through the adverse moments, and, you know, learning one another and learning what it takes to hold the standard of excellence, or this championship level standard, night in and night out.
And then in the fourth quarter, I thought Ezzy did a fantastic job against Sylvia. Fowles only scored 2 points in that fourth. Kind of a two-parter. Do you kind of wish you would have put Ezzy on her earlier in the game? And then the second part of that is, or do you think that with Fowles only scoring the 2 points in the fourth, that was maybe her just being tired, playing, doing so much already?
I think so. I'm proud of the way that Ezzy played her too, and we can historically understand that Mercedes, that guards still tough usually, and you can attribute it to the long road trip, the minutes, the fatigue. Yeah, I thought that still got a little bit tired, and we were able to use Ezzy's rested body, I should say, and getting breakout layups, go getting rebounds and things of that nature. Though I wish I would have played Ezzy sooner. I played her early on, and she didn't have that same focus that she had the same way that she came in the second half. And I trust Mercedes, and I trust her ability. So I don't know if I wish I had played her earlier, but I'm glad that she was able to excel in those minutes.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach.
No problem.
Thanks, Coach. Next one here is from Andy Yamashita from the Seattle Times.
Hey, Coach, thanks for the time. The what would you attribute to the kind of slow start today? Is that just a sign of the fatigue on the road trip?
I think so. We had a late um, night yesterday. We had a busy day yesterday. We had an early morning and an early shoot around. You got to think about the team, the last month. You have our Olympians going to the Olympics, but you have our other crew going through like a training camp process, and getting on this road trip. And it's a grind, playing minutes that you don't normally play. Fatigue sets in going city to city. And I think, we're at the end, and mind over matter at this point. But if we have a group that has never really been in this position together before, it's hard to kind of push through that, because there's newness in that. But yeah, I think some fatigue has set in. So I'm happy that we get to go back home and regroup.
Definitely. And then to touch on Sylvia again, is this just kind of a case of a great player playing great, or is there something else that you wish you could have thrown at her, made her job a little more difficult today?
Sylvia Fowles is one of the best centers that have ever played our game. And you throw traps at her. You ask, our players to, be aggressive defender and push her out. You're not moving her. She's a load and she's very tough. And we caught her on a bad night for us, obviously a great night for her. I think that they're very intentional about establishing her. When Sil has her mind set on dominating, she does that. And that's what type of Sil came out tonight. She's hard to defend. And yeah, you throw various looks at her and she's still able to go get rebounds and be very efficient. And so, just caught a great player on a bad night for us, a great night for her. But, you just kind of hope that she misses a couple. You hope that she's not as engaged. But when she is very hard to stop.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thanks, Coach. Are there any more questions for Coach? If there's not, then we'll wrap up. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And then Sue and Stewie will be in here next.
Okay, we're ready with them.
Hey guys, thanks for being here. I know you probably want to get out of here pretty quickly, so we'll start off now with a question from Jeff Brown. Go ahead, Jeff.
Sue, this question's for you. Offensively, you guys really struggled in this game, shooting 37%, 33 from 3-point range, and only 5 free throw attempts, actually. Just kind of tell me why the offense wasn't working well today.
Sometimes that happens. I think we got makeable shots. We just didn't make them. I think what I'm going to take from that, I didn't really realize, obviously I knew we didn't score a lot of points, but I didn't realize the shooting percentages were that low and we still had a chance to win. We were still in this game. It was a 1-point game with just a couple minutes. So that to me is the takeaway, because sometimes you have off nights, but we got good enough shots. We just didn't make them.
And then if I get a response from both of you, kind of leading into what you were just saying, as far as the takeaways, over this 5-game road trip, you guys go 2-3. That's obviously not the goal. What do you think as a team you guys learned about yourselves through these 5 games?
Obviously it was a long, tough road trip to be on the road since the Commissioner Cup. As you're well aware, Sue and I did not play the first 2 regular season games coming back from the break. And I think it was just fatigue getting back into it. Obviously, still stealing 2 wins on the road is something that we're going to, appreciate and just try and, collect wins at home. I think the thing is we should focus one game at a time. Obviously, we know bigger picture, but just focus on here and now.
Yeah, I think, this road trip was the cards we were dealt. It's not ideal, but what I'm looking forward to is the practice time we're going to get in the next couple of weeks. We haven't had that. I was actually, it really occurred to me today. I'll go down the line. Stewie has had 0 practices with the team after post-Olympic break. I've had 1. I think Jewel has really only had 1 because, as you know, once you hit, maybe 2 actually, once you hit a road trip, you're not really practicing. You're just going from one game to the next. So, like I said, it was the cards we were dealt. We did the best we could. And now I'm looking forward to being home and getting some practice time. I think that's going to help us just kind of iron some things out and get back to who we are.
Awesome. And just last one from me for Stewie. Sylvia Fowles, 29 points, 20 rebounds. Just talk about her performance and, how it was so difficult to stop her today.
Yeah, I mean, Syl's obviously a load, and, she's one of the best to kind of make an impact offensively and defensively. And when she gets super deep under the paint, it's hard to stop. And it was something that obviously, if we ever see them again down the line, making sure that we do a better job collectively, all 5 of us, continuing to rebound, make it tough for her. But yeah, I mean, she played great tonight.
Thank you guys for the time.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Jeff. Next one here from Andy Yamashita from the Seattle Times. Go ahead, Andy.
Hey, y'all. Thanks for the time. Brianna, this one's for you. Obviously, you guys didn't have the best start to the first quarter, but the bench really came in and kind of kept you guys in the game. What did you see from them today, especially Ezzy's performance?
Yeah, I mean, I think what we're seeing from our bench is, they're able to come in and make an impact right away and help us kind of change the game, change the rhythm, change the pace, and especially Ezzy just continuing to be more confident, more assertive on both ends of the court. She didn't have an easy task of trying to guard Syl, but she didn't back down, and that's what we need, and just for her to continue to do that and continue to build off of that as we keep going.
Awesome, thank you.
Thanks, and last one here from M. Adler from The Next. Go.
Hi, first question quickly to Stewie. So with the Lynx having that 3 big lineup, with Syl being as good as she was tonight, and Fee still threatening the way she does, how hard does that make it for you to sort of be able to help in the paint while still trying to stay on Fee?
I mean, I think that, I could have done a better job of, trapping Syl early on the post, getting there and doubling her earlier. But Fee hit a late 3, and that was big for them. But that was our game plan, was to kind of force them to knock down contested closing out threes.
Gotcha, thanks. And then just a similar question to wrap up to Sue, but specifically on the team. Sorry, the lights went out here. Specifically, the Lynx have a couple point guards between Clarendon and Dangerfield that are very stylistically different. I was just wondering, specifically because you were able to hold Clarendon to a pretty poor shooting night, how your defense changes depending on who you're on with them specifically.
Yeah, well, they pose different threats, so you just have to, with each substitution that happens, you just have to kind of change your mindset. And we had game plans for both of them, so I think it's not just about one player, meaning it's not just about me. It's once a new player comes in, we know what we want to do with them in pick and rolls. And then when a substitution happens, immediately you got to kind of flip a switch and go to the next game. But that's life in the WNBA. It's not much different from, playing other teams.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you so much.